Wow, ich, ich habe wundervolle 3 Monate gehabt. Und ich bin jetzt so voll im Melancholie-Modus. Ich bin so, oh, so cool gewesen. Ich habe es so fest genossen und es ist so tolle Leute kennengelernt und wir haben so viel, wir haben zusammen so eine tolle Zeit verbracht und ich bin sehr dankbar für die Experience. Sehr dankbar für die Leute. Und es war wirklich eine geile Freundesgruppe gewesen. Holy shit. Wirklich mega cool gewesen. Ja. Alle sind, nicht alle, aber sehr viele sind kurz zu meiner Abschlussparty. Es ist wirklich. Wir sind Pizza geholt, haben da oben ein bisschen gechillt. Dann sind wir zu Sonora. Wir haben Karaoke gemacht, wie beim ersten Mal, wo wir uns getroffen haben. Und ich so, wow, oh mein Gott, das ist toll gewesen. Das ist wirklich toll gewesen. Wirklich toll gewesen. Und jetzt haben sie gerade in Gruppe gecheckt, also ich so, hey, danke for making these 3 months so unforgettable. Und sie so, hey, we're gonna miss our great alpha male of the group, a shining star, bla bla bla. Und ich so, hey, das stimmt, ich bin die ganze Zeit am Scheinen. Und wie kommt's? Und auch dann ein bisschen reflektiert. Und ich so, holy shit. Das spricht wirklich. Also alle sagen immer das Gleiche, mein Dad auch. Das haben sie übrigens gesagt. Und ich so, what the fuck, Alter. I'm getting him. I'm becoming him. Und es ist wirklich. Also es ist wirklich so, er ist mein Vorbild. Auf so vielen Areas of my life. Es ist. Und es ehrt mich, ein bisschen so zu sein wie er. Und alle sagen, ich sehe gleich aus wie er und. Ja. I feel honored, man. I truly feel honored. Und ich will, dass seine Legacy weiterlebt. Und das ist mein Wunsch. Das ist mein Traum. Und ja. Ich will, dass seine Nachkommen bekannt werden und berühmt. Und Honor gab an ihn und der Bucher Familienstamm. Ja, es ist. Alexa, erinnere mich in 25 Minuten an Lukas Taufe schreiben.
Okay, ich werde für dich eine Erinnerung erstellen, die in 25 Minuten startet.
Ja, es ist ganz gut. Tolle Zeit da im Wasser. Toll gestartet, toll geendet. Und es sind mit dem Moment, wo in Erinnerung bleiben. Und ja. Das sind wirklich die unvergesslichen Momente, wo ich immer mit mir halten werde. Dass ich fucking mag, das bin. Dass ich so in die Trille gehe. dass ich mit meiner liebsten Zeit verbringe, dass ich einfach alles aus dem kurzen Leben habe, das ich auf dieser Erde habe. Dass ich maximize, optimize und wirklich einfach das Leben von meinen Träumen leben darf. Das ist crazy. Und ich bin sehr, sehr dankbar dafür. Und jetzt will ich kurz, statt die ganze Zeit, will ich kurz beten. Ja, lieber Gott, ich will dir danken dafür, dass du bei mir bist in den letzten 3 Monaten in Barcelona und mich morgens und abends deine Glory hast spüren lassen. Herr, ich bitte dich, bist bei mir im Gebet. Bist bei mir weiter im Verlauf von meinem Leben und ja, bitte, lass mein Leben unvergesslich machen, weil ja, das Leben ist zu kurz, um es nicht zu geniessen bis zum Vollsten. Und neue Orte zu bereisen, neue Leute kennenzulernen und einfach eine unvergessliche Zeit zu haben. Eine Zeit, die ich nie vergessen werde. Nie vergessen werde. Und ja, ich bin wirklich dankbar, dass ich dich in meinem Leben habe. Dass ich deine Liebe spüren darf. Dass ja, dass du mit mir da bist. Ich bin dankbar, dass ich deine Liebe darf spüren, dieses Encouragement, deine Ermutigung, deine Sanftmütigkeit. Und dass ich so jemanden wie dich darf in meinem Leben haben. Wirklich danke vielmals. Fucking amazing stay, bro. Fucking amazing stay. Jotham continued, now make sure, Judges 9:16. Jotham continued, now make sure you've acted horribly and in all good faith by making Abimelech your king, and that you have done right by Gideon, and all of his descendants. Have you treated him with the honor he deserves for all he accomplished? For he fought for you, and he risked his life when he rescued you from the Midianites. But today you have revolted against my father and his descendants, killing his 70 sons on one stone, and you have chosen his slave, woman's son, Abimelech, to be your king, just because he is your relative. If you have acted horribly and in good faith towards Gideon and his descendants today, then may you find joy in Abimelech, and may he find joy in you. But if you have not acted in good faith, then may fire come out from Abimelech and devour the leading citizens of Shechem and Beth Millo, and may fire come out from citizens of Shechem and Beth Millo and devour Abimelech. Then Jonathan escaped and lived in Beer, because he was afraid of his brother Abimelech. Shechem rebels against Abimelech. After Abimelech had ruled over Israel for 3 years, God sent a spirit that stirred up trouble between Abimelech and the leading citizens of Shechem, and they revolted. God was punishing Abimelech for murdering Gideon's 70 sons, and the citizens of Shechem for supporting him in this treachery of murdering his brothers. The citizens of Shechem set an ambush for Abimelech on the hilltop and robbed everyone who passed that way. But someone warned Abimelech about their plot. One day, Gaal, son of Ebed, moved to Shechem with his brothers and gained the confidence of leading citizens of Shechem. During the annual harvest festival at Shechem, held in the temple of the local god, the wine flowed freely, and everyone began cursing Abimelech. "Who is Abimelech?" Gal shouted. "He's not a true son of Shechem, so why should we be his servants? He's merely the son of Gideon, and this Zebul is merely his deputy. Serve the true sons of Hamor, the founder of Shechem. Why should we serve Abimelech? If I were in charge here, I would get rid of Abimelech. I would say to him, 'Get some soldiers and come out and fight.'" But when Zebul, the leader of the city, heard what Gal was saying, he was furious. He sent messengers to Abimelech in Arumah, telling him, "Gal, son of Ebed, and his brothers have come to live in Shechem, and now they are inciting the city to rebel against you. Come by night with an army and hide out in the fields. In the morning, as soon as it's daylight, attack the city. Then Gal and those who are with him come out against you. You can do with them as you wish." So Abimelech and his men went by night and split into 4 groups, stationing themselves around Shechem. Gal was standing at the city gates when Abimelech and his army came out of hiding. Then Gal saw them and said to Zebul, "Look, there are people coming down from the hilltops." Zebul replied, "It's just shadows of the hills that look like men." But again Gal said, "No, people are coming down from the hills. And another group is coming down from the road past the Diviner's Oak." Then Zebul turned to him and asked, "Now, where's that big mouth of yours? Wasn't it you who said, 'Who is Abimelech, and why should we be his servants?' The men you mocked are right outside the city. Go out and fight them." So Gal led the leading citizens of Shechem into battle against Abimelech. But Abimelech chased them, and many of Shechem's men were wounded and fell along the road as they retreated to the city gates. Abimelech returned to Arumah, and Zebul drove Gal and his brothers out of Shechem. The next day, the people of Shechem went into the fields to battle. When Abimelech heard about it, he divided his men into 3 groups and set an ambush in the fields. When Abimelech saw the people coming out of the city, he and his men jumped up from the hiding places and attacked them. Abimelech and his group stormed the city gate to keep the men from Shechem from getting back in, while Abimelech's 2 other groups cut them down in the fields. The battle went on all day before Abimelech finally captured the city. He killed the people, leveled the city, and scattered salt all over the ground. When the leading citizens who lived in the tower of Shechem heard what had happened, they ran and hid in the temple of Baal Berith. Someone reported to Abimelech that the citizens had gathered in the temple, so he led his forces to Mount Zalmon. He took an axe and chopped some branches from a tree. Then put them on his shoulder. "Quick, do as I have done," he told his men. So each of them cut down some branches, following Abimelech's example. They piled the branches against the walls of the temple and set it on fire. So all the people who had lived in the tower of Shechem died, about 1,000 men and women. Then Abimelech attacked the town of Tebez and captured it. But there was a strong tower inside the town, and all the men and women, the entire population, fled to it. They barricaded themselves in and climbed up to the roof of the tower. Abimelech followed them to attack the tower, but as he prepared to set fire to the entrance, a woman on the roof dropped a milestone that landed on Abimelech's head and crushed his skull. He quickly said to his young armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and kill you. Don't let it be said that the woman killed Abimelech." So the young men ran him through with his sword, and he died. Then Abimelech's men saw that he was dead. They disbanded and returned to their homes. This way, God punished Abimelech for the evil he had done against his father by murdering his 70 brothers. God also punished the men of Shechem for all their evil, so the curse of Jotham, son of Gideon, was fulfilled. Judges 10. Tola becomes Israel's judge. After Abimelech died, Tola, son of Pua, son of Dodo, was the next person to rescue Israel. He was from the tribe of Issachar, but lived in the town of Shamir, in the hill country of Ephraim. He judged Israel for 23 years. Then he died and was buried in Shamir. Jair becomes Israel's judge. After Tola died, Jair from Gilead judged Israel for 22 years. His 30 sons rode around on 30 donkeys, and they owned 30 towns in the lands of Gilead, which are still called the towns of Jair. When Jair died, he was buried in Canaan. Cayman, like Cayman Islands. Lol. The Amorites oppressed Israel. Again, the Israelites did evil in the Lord's sight. They served the images of Baal and Ashtoreth, and the gods of Aram, Sidon, Moab, Ammon, and Philistia. They abandoned the Lord and no longer served him at all. So the Lord burned with anger against Israel, and he turned them over to the Philistines and the Amorites, who began to oppress them that year. For 18 years they oppressed all the Israelites east of the Jordan River in the land of the Amorites, that is, in Gilead. The Amorites also crossed the west side of the Jordan and attacked Judah, Benjamin, and Ephraim. The Israelites were in great distress. Finally, they cried out to the Lord for help, saying, "We have sinned against you, because we have abandoned you as our God and have served the images of Baal." The Lord replied, "Did I not rescue you from the Egyptians, the Amorites, and the Ammonites, and the Philistines, and Sidonians, and Amalekites, and Maonites? When they oppressed you, you cried out to me for help, and I rescued you. Yet you have abandoned me and served other gods. So I will not rescue you anymore. Go and cry out to the gods you have chosen. Let them rescue you for your hour of distress." But Israelites pleaded with the Lord, and they said, "We have sinned. Punish us as you see fit. Only rescue us today from our enemies." Then the Israelites put aside their foreign gods and served the Lord, and he was grieved by their misery. At that time the army of Ammon had gathered for war and camped in Gilead, and the people of Israel assembled and camped in Mizpah. The leaders of Gilead said to each other, "Whoever attacks the Amorites first will become ruler over all people of Gilead." Jephthah becomes Israel's judge. Now Jephthah of Gilead was a great warrior. He was the son of Gilead, but his mother was a prostitute. Gilead's wife also had several sons, and when these half-brothers grew up, they chased Jephthah off the land. "You will not get any of our father's inheritance," they said, "for you are the son of a prostitute." So Jephthah fled from his brothers and lived in the land of Tob. Soon he had a band of worthless rebels following him. At this time, the Ammonites began their war against Israel. When the Ammonites attacked, the elders of Gilead sent for Jephthah in the land of Tob. The elders said, "Come and be our commander, help us fight the Ammonites." But Jephthah said to them, "Aren't you the ones who hated me and drove me from my father's house? Why do you come to me now when you're in trouble?" "Because we need you," the elders replied. "If you lead us into battle against the Ammonites, we will make you ruler over all the people of Gilead." Jephthah said to the elders, "Let me get this straight. If I come with you, and if the Lord gives me victory over the Ammonites, will you really make me ruler over all the people?" "The Lord is our witness," the elders replied. "We promise to do whatever you say." So Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead, and the people made him their ruler and commander of the army. At Mizpah, in the presence of the Lord, Jephthah repeated what he had said to the elders. Then Jephthah sent messengers to the king of Ammon, asking, "Why have you come out to fight against my land?" The king of Ammon answered Jephthah's message. "When the Israelites came out of Egypt, they stole my land from the Arnon River to the Jabbok River, and all the way to the Jordan. Now then, give me back the land peaceably. Jephthah sent his message back to the Ammonite king. This is what Jephthah says. Israel did not steal any land from Moab or Ammon. When the people of Israel arrived at Kadesh on their journey from Egypt after crossing the Red Sea, they sent messengers to the king of Edom asking for permission to pass through his land, but their request was denied. Then they asked the king of Moab for similar permission, but he wouldn't let them pass through either. So the people of Israel stayed in Kadesh. Finally, they went around Edom and Moab, through the wilderness. They traveled along Moab's eastern border and camped on the other side of Arnon River, but they never once crossed the Arnon River into Moab, for the Arnon was the border of Moab. Then Israel sent messengers to King Sihon of the Amorites, who ruled from Heshbon, asking for permission to cross through his land to get to their destination. But King Sihon didn't trust Israel to pass through his land. Instead, he mobilized his army at Jahaz and attacked them. But the Lord, the God of Israel, gave his people victory over King Sihon. So Israel took control of all the land of the Amorites, who lived in that region, from the Arnon River to the Jabbok River, and from the eastern wilderness to the Jordan. So you see, it was the Lord, the God of Israel, who took away the land from the Amorites and gave it to Israel. Why then should we give it back to you? You keep whatever your God, Shemosh, gives you, and we will keep whatever the Lord our God gives us. Are you any better than Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab? Did he try to make a case against Israel for disputed land? Did he go to war against them? Israel has been living here for 300 years, inhabiting Heshbon and its surrounding settlements, all the way to Aroer and its settlements, and in all the towns along the Arnon River. Why have you made no effort to recover it before now? Therefore I have not sinned against you. Rather you have wronged me by attacking me. Which the Lord, who is judge, decide today which of us is right, Israel or Ammon. But the king of Ammon paid no attention to Jephthah's message. Jephthah's vow. At that time the Spirit of the Lord came upon Jephthah, and he went through the land of Gilead and Manasseh, including Mizpah in Gilead, and from there he led his army against the Ammonites. And Jephthah made a vow to the Lord. He said, "If you give me victory over the Ammonites, I will give to the Lord whatever comes out of my house to meet me when I return in triumph. I will sacrifice it as a burnt offering." So Jephthah led his army against the Ammonites, and the Lord gave him victory. He crushed the Ammonites, devastating about 20 towns of Aroer to that area near Minnith, and as far as Abel Keramim. In this way Israel defeated the Ammonites. When Jephthah returned home to Mizpah, his daughter came out to meet him, playing on a tambourine and dancing for joy. She was his one and only child. He had no other sons or daughters. When he saw her, he tore his clothes in anguish. "Oh, my daughter," he cried out, "you have completely destroyed me. You have brought disaster on me, for I have made a vow to the Lord and I cannot take it back." And she said, "Father, if you have made a vow to the Lord, you must do to me what you have vowed, for the Lord has given you a great victory over your enemies, the Ammonites. But first let me do this one thing. Let me go up and roam in the hills and weep with my friends for 2 months, because I will die a virgin." "You may go," Jephthah said. And he sent her away for 2 months. She and her friends went into the hills and wept, because she would never have children. Then she returned home. Her father kept the vow he had made, and she died a virgin. So it became a custom in Israel for young Israelite women to go away for 4 days each year to lament the fate of Jephthah's daughter. Ephraim fights with Jephthah. to the people of Ephraim. Then the people of Ephraim mobilized an army and crossed over the Jordan River to Zaphon. They sent this message to Jephthah: "Why didn't you call us to help you fight against the Ammonites? We are going to burn down your house with you in it." "What?" Jephthah replied, "I summoned you at the beginning of the dispute, but you refused to come. You failed to help us in our struggle against Ammon. So when I realized you weren't coming, I risked my life and went to battle without you, and the Lord gave me victory over the Ammonites. So why have you now come to fight me?" The people of Ephraim responded, "You, men of Gilead, are nothing more than fugitives from Ephraim and Manasseh." So Jephthah gathered all the men of Gilead and attacked the men of Ephraim and defeated them. Jephthah captured the shallow crossings of the Jordan River, and whenever a fugitive from Ephraim tried to go back across, the men of Gilead would challenge him. "Are you a member of the tribe of Ephraim?" they would ask. If the man said, "No, I'm not," then they would tell him Shibboleth. If he was from Ephraim, he would say Shibboleth, because people from Ephraim cannot pronounce the word correctly. Then they would take him and kill him at the shallow crossings of the Jordan. In all, 42,000 Ephraimites were killed at that time. Jephthah judged Israel for 6 years. When he died, he was buried in one of the towns of Gilead. Israel becomes... this part is really interesting. When Jephthah returned home to Mizpah, his daughter came out to meet him, playing on a tambourine and dancing for joy, but he had to kill her. But where did he make the promise? At that time, the Spirit of the Lord came upon Jephthah, and he went through the land of Gilead and Manasseh, including Mizpah and Gilead. From there he led his army against the Amorites. And Jephthah made a vow to the Lord. He said, "If you give me victory over the Ammonites, I will give to the Lord whatever comes out of my house," so his children, "to meet me when I return. I will give to the Lord whatever comes out of my house to meet me when I return to triumph." And his daughter came out of the house and he came home, so he had to give her. Wow. Ibzan becomes Israel's judge. After Jephthah died, Ibzan from Bethlehem judged Israel. He had 30 sons and 30 daughters. He sent his daughters to marry men outside his clan, and he brought the 30 young women from outside his clan to marry his sons. Ibzan judged Israel for 7 years. When he died, he was buried in Bethlehem. Elon becomes Israel's judge. After Ibzan died, Elon from the tribe of Zebulun judged Israel for 10 years. When he died, he was buried in Ayalon, in Zebulun. Abdon becomes Israel's judge. After Elon died, Abdon, son of Hillel from Pirathon, judged Israel. He had 40 sons and 30 grandsons who rode on 70 donkeys. He judged Israel for 8 years. When he died, he was buried in Pirathon in Ephraim, in the hill country of Amalekites. So today is the 20th March AM.
Dies ist eine Erinnerung